Content warning. Today's podcast will be covering topics of trauma and murder.
You're now listening to a Purple Crayon Productions broadcast.
Hello, my name is Raina. I'm the Barbie doll your cousin drew on with Sharpie and then you promptly left in an old sandbox. How are you? I have been getting sunburned and sitting on my computer a lot. I've invested much of my time into the TV show Scandal. Not much exciting things are happening. I don't know. Yeah. Edgar Allan Poe once wrote, "The death of a beautiful woman is unquestionably the most poetical topic in the world." Let's talk about it. I love true crime. I'm sure you love true crime. A lot of people love true crime. Ooh, that's the question of today's episode. What is your favorite true crime podcast or series? I really liked Dirty John and the Last Days of August podcast. Those were both really good. Yeah, what's your favorite series? I'm curious. I need things to watch. Again, I've invested a lot of time in the show Scandal. I would like something else for a bit. But one thing I've been thinking a lot about is how women in true crime are featured and this idea of women equals victim. I first got really interested in this after reading Hamlet. Ophelia as a character seemed to be like the most ethereal and tragic character there has ever been in a way that I was really fascinated with. Which is weird considering as Shakespeare wrote her, I honestly don't think there's a lot of depth to her as a character. I think my interest in her to this day is not necessarily about Ophelia, but more about what is done to Ophelia. For me, Ophelia is a reference point for what I'm going to call the dead girl. The dead girl exists in both media, TV, books, movies, plays, but also in real life. Her narrative exists only in relation to her trauma. Usually, but not always, she dies. There are some living dead girls, which I'll be talking about. But the reason we care about this dead girl so much is because she is the epitome of innocence. She is usually on the younger side, representative of this intersection between child and woman. A lot of the time she is white. She is traditionally feminine, and she is conventionally attractive. A really good real-life example of this is the case of JonBenet Ramsey. I believe most people have heard about this case, but a quick refresher for those who aren't familiar. JonBenet Ramsey was a 6-year-old girl who was murdered under mysterious circumstances around Christmas time in the 90s. The case is unresolved, but it captured the media's attention pretty quickly, and ever since then there has been this huge obsession in America with JonBenet. There's loads of websites dedicated to theories about who killed her. She used to compete in beauty pageants, and as she's plastered over magazines and on TV, she becomes this sexualized and sensationalized Lolita-esque character rather than a young girl. I found this quote from an article I was reading that I think sums up her portrayal rather well. At 6 years old, she has not just been given a woman's hairstyle or clothes or makeup, but she has been taught a woman's stillness. She's not caught in action, as children so often are in photographs. She seems conscious of no desire, no distraction that will keep her from sitting still as her image is captured. She's letting us look at her. Because of this womanliness, she gains fame as a symbol of innocence. JonBenet herself is not directly comparable to Ophelia or Laura Palmer or a living dead girl like Britney Spears. Hi there, it's Raina. I'm going to interrupt myself for a moment. I realize that not everyone knows who Laura Palmer is off the top of their heads or even in general. Laura Palmer is the dead girl in Twin Peaks, the dead gal, the one the show revolves around, her death. Yep, that's her. But the way her image of innocence destroyed, innocence corrupted, was crafted by the media is comparable to all those women. Laura Palmer is, I think, a really perfect example of a fictional dead girl. The image of her washing up to shore directly reflects the beauty of John Everett Millet's painting Ophelia. The beauty that Edgar Allan Poe is talking about, the death of a beautiful woman, is unquestionably the most poetical topic in the world. Laura Palmer serves as a prop for action to occur. The show revolves around her, yet she is not a voice in the show. Her dead body creates a problem for male detectives to solve. I feel like there's this equation of dead woman equals ethereal. A type of ethereal that is otherwise impossible to be. Laura Palmer is that ethereal. We are supposed to love her and feel horrible for her, but only under the condition that she is dead. Women who represent the intersection of innocent beauty and gruesome darkness is captivating in the public eye. Like with Britney Spears, her downfall was innocent beauty being corrupted. And that's why we were obsessed with her. Our obsession is this projection of a societal fear that innocence of womanhood and girlhood is becoming corrupted. I think we're all a bit obsessed with dead girls. I feel obsessed with dead girls, but there can be no redemption for the dead girl. There can only be redemption for the person solving the murder. And ultimately, neither real or fictional dead girls are going to find peace through our obsession with them and their bodies. Now, this is not to say, stop listening to your true crime. All of these things are terrible. Cut it out of your life. Instead, I just urge you to be critical of true crime and media focused on the mental deterioration and death of women. Not only does it desensitize us to images of dead women, but when those dead women are painted covered in flowers and they look like beautiful mermaids, it romanticizes being a dead girl. I feel like I don't need to spell this out, but equating beauty with death is not realistic or healthy. Let's instead look at the beauty of all the women who are alive and happy and here in the present. Let's normalize healing. As always, to finish out this episode, I have a poem. Today's poem is called Lover. Bar girl. Sex girl, up for anything girl. Catch her drinking your father's whiskey girl. Always looking like a murder mystery girl, always in a conga line girl, always half lamb's ear, half Venus flytrap girl. Tell me girl, call yourself Ophelia girl, Ophelia who is Laura Palmer girl, who is Alison de Laurentiis, who is Britney Spears, who is JonBenet, and girl, there is a book about all of them and none of them. Girl, there is a book about all of them because they are all side effects, and there is a book about none of them because they are all side effects. Let me tell you how to wade in water, girl. Drinking poison like it's vodka, girl. You dress up like it's Halloween every day, girl. You're Twitter famous, girl. Brick by brick, boy by boy, girl. Limb by limb, girl. Don't you want to be wild, girl? I want you to be wild, girl. Intersection between angelic and alive, girl. Crash your car so they love you, girl. A dog eats grass when it feels sick, girl. But you only sip beer when you're feeling oh so good. Thank you to Sarah Marshall, who wrote Why America Will Never Stop Trying to Solve JonBenet Ramsey's Case. Sadaf Hassan, who wrote How a Cultural Obsession for Dead Girls Gave Rise to the Difficult Woman, and Alice Boleyn, who wrote Dead Girls, Essays on Surviving an American Obsession. And of course, please continue to listen to all of the Cryptid Girl Summer content that Purple Crown will be putting out over the next few weeks. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Cryptid Girl Summer!